Hi there, Becky Amble, back with another little tidbit, and I think you probably know who I am. One of the things I wanted to share with you is just a little more of what we're going to be doing in our workshop. And so I've got something I want to talk to you about briefly here. And there we are. One of the things that we need to understand a little bit is how these LLM or generative AIs work. And just have a little piece of information for you today that what we're going to be starting with is our text LLMs, large language models, or generative AI. So LLM, generative AI, text, that all gets thrown around. And we're probably going to have more terminology that comes up over time. What I want to share with you today is just a little bit of information on how these models are created. Yeah, they're called models as well. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how they're trained. So there's another piece that's going to come up. Anyway, keep in mind these are based on information that's been given to them. They've been trained. They've had all this information that has been inputted. And for all of these models, there's generally a cutoff date that says we've been trained up to March of 2023 or certain dates like that. And then all the information that we get when we go in and we say, hey, I want you to tell me about X, Y, and Z and do this, do that. Here's what I want to know, or here's my audience, or whatever you're giving it. It's going to be based on predictability, probability, and history because it's looking at information that is already out there. And then what it does is it goes through, let's say that you have a keyword of, I don't know, a recipe for banana bread. And it's going to go through and it's going to find everything it has stored up in its repository that talks about banana bread. It's going to pull all that information together and it's going to come up. So the results are based on historical information, based on the probabilities of that information being true in the future, repeating itself. And there is a solution to that. I want to just show you quickly because we're probably going to be dealing mostly with OpenAI, or at least I spend most of my time on that. There are a couple things you can do. The one is called a trigger word. So if you typed in the box here, I'm not going to type in because this is just a screenshot. If you type in the word research, that tells it go to the internet and get me current information. I did this for a friend of mine that was talking about some of the work that I was doing, and she was going to take her granddaughter on a cruise to Norway, and they were stopping in London. And she said, it'd be great to be able to get the current theater schedule for when I'm in London, but it's dated based on when the last model had been trained or that model had been trained last. So I said, well, contraire to that, if you put in research and then you say, give me the theater schedule for live theater events, and you put in the date, you get them. And so I sent that to her. I actually got a theater schedule for the date she was there that were pulled from current research, and it even gave me the names of the theaters and ways to contact them. So keep in mind, when you are doing this, if you want more current or updated information, put in the trigger word research, or now what you can see is down here, there's three little icons. And if you click on the one that looks kind of like a little globe, that also tells it, go get me current information. That's my little tidbit for the day. If you're playing around or want to learn a couple things while you're waiting for our program to start, you can certainly do that. And if in the meantime anything comes up, here's how you can reach me in video. And we're looking forward to seeing you soon and talking about AI and coming up with all kinds of great ideas of how you can use it. We'll start with one. I think that's a good way to start. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.